Paul McGuire Grimes, KSTP, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Jessica, it is really great talking to you again today. You have such a fantastic ensemble on your hands here. So congrats on just putting this all together.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's wonderful to talk with you.
Thank you. Now tell me about the term, the 355, because I know it dates back to the Revolutionary War. And what did you learn about this period and the fascination with who this woman that this refers to?
Well, the 355 was the code name for the first female spy in the American Revolution who worked for George Washington. And her real name is still unknown to this day. So it's used, I guess, currently as like a moniker and a badge of honor between women who work in espionage. And one of our consultants first told me the story of the 355. And we wanted to use it to honor the women who work behind the scenes, who are unknown and put their lives in danger, but who keep us all safe.
That's amazing. I love that little history lesson. That's awesome. Now, I read that you were a ballerina as a kid. How important was that dance training to you? And how did you incorporate that into the fight choreography?
It's honestly, dancing as a kid has really helped me in so many aspects of my life. I mean, I am a bit clumsy still, but I think, it just helped me kind of like my brain and my body connect with like, oh, if I think to do this, then my body knows what to do. But it absolutely helps when you do fight choreography. There's a reason why it's called choreography. You're counting in your head and you have a partner and you're moving with the same rhythm in order to make sure everyone's safe. So it really is a dance. And Diane had the same thing. She was a ballerina. And so all of our fight scenes, I think, we work really well together as partners because we both are able to keep that kind of rhythm in our heads.
Right. You and Diane, Lupita, like such a great cast. And knowing that you called Sebastian and be like, hey, you want to be in my movie? Like, I love just like hearing those little collaborations. It's just so fantastic. How do you decide which stunts you'll want to take on versus be like, okay, stunt double, like have your chance?
Well, because this was, the whole film, it was my idea and I got all the actresses together and it was a leap of faith for everyone involved. I felt a responsibility that I had to do every single thing myself. So I did everything. I jumped off the buildings. I did all the fights. I mean, there was one, it's not in the film because I think it was too brutal, but during one fight scene, it was the fight scene in the green dress. I hit my head on the ground. It was like it's supposed to happen. But I miscalculated the distance and I really hit my head and I heard a crack because it was marble. And everyone stopped and freaked out and I had to go to the get checked out at the hospital afterwards. But yes, I did everything myself.
I mean, love hearing that. Glad you're safe, of course. Like that safety priority number one. Yes. Now you're producing more and more, especially this and the Eyes of Tammy Faye, which you were just so phenomenal in. What are you learning? Oh yeah. What are you learning about yourself throughout taking on that end of the creative spectrum?
What's exciting is it helps me support the stories that I think are important or support, whether it be figures in history or other actresses or writers that, Teresa Rebeck wrote the script for the 355, people that I really want to celebrate. That's exciting. But it really is, it's like both two different sides of my brain. There's like the producer side and then there's the actor side. And sometimes they don't get along. Sometimes the producer is really annoyed at the actress. But yeah, I've learned a lot about myself in terms of like how many plates that I can keep spinning and but it's been very, very rewarding at the end of the day.
That's amazing. I got the rap. Keep it up. I really appreciate it. And these projects are great. So keep it up.
Thank you, first of all. And I am so impressed with you and all of those DVDs behind you.
It's very real. I have a lot of your stuff here. It's very real.
I love it. And I'm so excited because I have like a closet like you have. And so now that things are becoming digital, I'm like, no,
I love physical media. We need physical media. Like my Amazon wish list is just like all movies. Like it's kind of embarrassing.
I love it. It's beautiful. And it's a beautiful background.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Diane. It's great talking to you today.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Now, I really enjoyed the premise of this movie and you guys were all so fantastic together and the chemistry was great. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, there's so much like great fight choreography and weapon training in this. And how do you decide what stunts do you actually want to like attempt and take on versus letting a stunt double do it?
I guess they kind of ask you what you're comfortable with and what you're capable of. Obviously they can't let you hurt yourself for obvious reasons. Um, I mean, the whole idea is always to do as much yourself as you can. So all the fight scenes, that was definitely Jessica and I. That was more of a sort of choreography that you learn. I'm not that great with gun work, I gotta say. So a lot of that was very difficult for me to learn. Just, I don't know, guns and I in my hand just didn't work. And then I don't know. Yeah, it's a conversation you always have. You want whoever they assign you as your stunt double, you want to be in unison with them. I want to learn from them, but the idea is that they learn from you as well, so that even when they fall, even when they fight, they bring something of the character that you created to that part as well, right? So It doesn't look just like, here's me and then my super badass stunt person, who does something completely different.
I feel like we don't talk enough about stunt collaborators with the main actress or actor and how they have to work really close together so that synergy is there. And that's so fascinating. Now, tell me about the origin of the 355 term, because I know it dates back to the Revolutionary War. And did you learn anything about that era and these secretive women that it refers to?
No, I learned, to be honest, I learned most of it from Jessica. Jessica's a very engaged female feminist and active in trying to make sure women are represented in the right way. And she's the brainchild of this idea, and she's the one that told us what the meaning of 355 is, and why she wanted to make this movie, or why she was intrigued by that story in the first place. So that felt really awesome, to have not just a fellow actress who was on the movie, but who also was a producer on the film, make sure that we as women were heard on set and were represented right. And I feel like she did a great service to this lady we still don't know her name of, who was the 355.
Right. Oh, I love hearing that. That's so great. Yeah. Now, when you get to film internationally, how do you get the chance to all to just explore on your time off? Did you see anything awesome or have any really great cuisine that you remember?
Yeah, we were filming in Europe, and so I was able to bring my family, and it was summer, so we were in Paris. I just remember the weekends roaming around Paris, sitting at the Tuileries Garden, having ice cream, having just in a way also felt like a vacation time. And London, it's wonderful. I felt very grateful to be there, to be able on weekends or on a day off to go to a museum. It's a great place to make a movie. You don't feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, obviously, so we did have a lot of fun offset as well.
Yeah, that's great. Diane, I got the graph. It was great talking to you today. I appreciate it. And I hope that people enjoy the 355.
Thank you.
Thank you. Paul McGuire Grimes, KSTP, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Sebastian, it is really great talking to you today. I've been loving your work since Titania and Marvel, and you're great in this too. So thanks for the time today.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Now, I read that Jessica Chastain, you worked with her in The Martian, called you specifically for this part. What does that mean to you? And do you feel that pressure then to just say yes because you have a friend asking you to be in her movie?
Not if it's Jessica Chastain. then it's a pretty easy yes at that point. But I felt a different kind of pressure in the sense that I didn't want to let her down. I didn't want to let anybody down in this film. I needed to kind of show up with my A game because I knew everybody else was going to. So, yeah, it was pretty special the way it came together because again, Jessica went out there and sort of assembled this cast and with Simon built a story. And then once we were all together, we had about a month of prep before we started shooting, and we had all these read-throughs where we would kind of discuss the characters and the story, and everybody got to bring in their ideas, and so the thing just evolved.
I love hearing that collaboration piece and that her just kind of bring everyone together. That's just, I feel like it's different than your standard big project that you take on.
It is. It doesn't. Again, in my experience, it doesn't happen that much. But I think there's something about that. I think it's sort of helps when there's a collaboration, because I do feel that you get better results in that sense. If we can all stay open, and the movie asks for that in the sense. And Simon, who wrote and directed the film, was really, really encouraging all of us to sort of kind of come in and take these parts and make it our own. Yeah.
That's great. Now, does the fight choreography and the action sequences just come easier given the history that you've had with Marvel and Bucky, or does it feel like an all new workout with the choreography in this film?
Well, it's always different in the sense when you're opposite somebody you've never worked with before, and then you're having to really trust each other and learn how the other person moves, and because it's always about distance and kind of guessing a little bit of what the next moment is. But obviously you're rehearsing it over and over and over again until you get it so in your system that you can feel like you're actually improvising in the moment, if you will. But it helps when you have some history with it, for sure.
Right. Now, when you're filming internationally, do you get a chance to just check out the scene, like look at the sides, have some really great cuisine, and what stands out to you about Paris or London when you're there?
Well, funny enough, Edgar and I were trying to be in the best shapes of our lives, and we decided that we were going to do these diets in Paris, France, and that's just not where you go if you're trying not to eat carbohydrates, for instance. I mean, you may want to not go to Paris for that, but absolutely, the experience that we had on this film. I mean, I love London. I love working there. I got to work there a few times. Paris was an unbelievably beautiful city. I know I ended up traveling a little bit through Europe when I had some time off, and again, that was pre-pandemic, and it was just little did I know that was gonna we were gonna look back at that and kind of how amazingly free that experience was. But it was special in many ways.
Yeah. I mean, I can bet it'd be really hard to turn down a really flaky croissant right out of the oven in a French oven.
Not on the weekend. On the weekends, we certainly, I definitely ate a lot of bread. And it's my favorite thing, to be honest, to this day. If you ask me, it's like the bread and the butter thing. But if you in France, you just can't beat that.
Awesome. I love hearing that because I love bread and butter too. So thanks, Sebastian. I got the wrap. I am so excited for Pam and Tommy. Like, I cannot wait for that. So congrats on that too.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.